Welcome back to another episode of the ABL review for Season 18, Week 7 of the East Division. So one of these games I previously recorded just to try to save some time, but who knew I wouldn't have to save that much time because we did have two forfeits to talk about real quick. We'll head over to the schedule. So Miami versus SLD. Curtis just kind of forgot and went to sleep when he got home on Monday night. He said that Connor had reached out to him and he just kind of forgot, and he said he was willing to forfeit, which is fine for him because it didn't affect his playoff standing. Hate to see a late season match end that way, but it did. And then Logan versus Zhang. Both of them had already locked up playoff spots, and Zhang I think might have even been locked into the lowest playoff slot. So this didn't really matter too much for him, mattered a little bit more for Logan. Logan had something to play for. Zhang said, hey, I haven't had time to build. Can we get an extension? I've been very clear about it. I'm going to continue to be firm on this. If the only reason that the battle's not getting done on time is because you neglected to plan for it, that's not a good enough reason. I'm sorry, I can't award an extension for that. So Logan got the win there. I think it even bumped him up in the standings a little bit. So, this looks a little bit different than the West doc. We'll talk about it in a little bit. But let's head over to the schedule, and first we'll cut to the coverage of Texarkana versus Oakland. This one I also did a live watch of. Actually, both of these I did live recordings of, which are on the YouTube channel. You can see my thoughts live there, or you can listen to the recap here. If you don't, it'll probably be shorter. So there's that. But we'll cut to Texas, and then we'll come back to this. For this match, we've got Papcoon and the Texarkana Toxics taking on Tyler and the Oakland Galators. Tyler has yet to get a win this season, so he's locked out of playoffs. Papcoon has already secured his playoff spot, so he's looking good right here. A win here could lock up a 3-4 seed for him, which would guarantee he only has to win one game to go to playoffs. Or if he loses, he still has a second chance to get into playoffs. So pretty important here. But also a loss doesn't negate either of those things. He still has a chance of that either way, but it's out of his control if he loses. So Tyler doesn't really have anything to play for other than just be a spoiler. So let's hop into this. We got Greninja versus Magnezone lead, pretty good. Obviously we're going to see a U-turn out. Papcoon doesn't have a ton of great switch-ins, but Arboliva I think is a very serviceable switch-in here. And we see the grassy terrain go up, so gets good recovery. Magnezone Volt switches here, revealing that it's not choiced. Probably Assault Vest would be my guess. Earth Power comes out, good damage to the Skeledirge. Also gets the special defense drop. That's really big, because now this Skeledirge, unless it can guarantee KO or relieve it, has to switch. Decent damage on the Azumarill here, but honestly, we get to see a really cool interaction here with Ice Spinner taking out the Arboliva and removing the terrain, but then the terrain gets set right back up afterwards, so it's pretty fun. Goldengo busts out the Terra Steel Make It Rain to be able to KO the Azu. By the way, I did a live commentary of this that's up on the YouTube. Go ahead and check that out if you're interested in seeing my thoughts live. I'm probably not going to be super detailed with this because I do have that going on. Magnezone comes in. Now, I don't know what the deal was here. Oh, interesting thing here. The Goldengo actually is trapped when normally it wouldn't be, because now it doesn't have the Ghost type. So it is trapped. Maybe I didn't catch that in my live recording. I don't remember. I probably commented on it. This Goldengo has to stay here. He does get parried. That's unfortunate. Very little damage to Magnezone. That's kind of unfortunate, but he does end up stalling out the grassy terrain, which maybe that's relevant. I don't know. Great Tusk comes in here. And Tyler catches this Great Tusk with the same trick he caught the Iron Treads with the week prior in Terra Blast. Papcoon's in a really bad spot now because of that. And also this Terra Water Magnezone is just a bad matchup for him. I'm pretpretty certain that is Assault Vest based on how little damage the Volt Switch did and the Shadow Ball was doing. So now Glaceon comes. I don't think I mentioned it in the other thing. So Glaceon's got two potential abilities, Snow Cloak and Ice Body. I assumed Ice Body just because that's what you see more often. But you can see on this turn, Yeah, see, that's the end of the turn. It gets the leftovers recovery, but it doesn't get additional recovery from Ice Body. That means it has to be Snow Cloak, which sucks. We had, in our very early seasons, we talked about banning Snow Cloak and Sand Veil, but we figured if you're going to either take a Weather Setter just to get an evasion boost, or a Sand Setter just to get an evasion boost, or you're going to self-set like this, you're giving up enough resources where it's probably a fair trade-off. And plus, you can't stack it with Bright Powder or other evasion boosts, so it's probably okay. And also, pretty much every Pokemon who has evasion ability like that has a more reliable ability as an alternative. So we didn't think it was a problem. I'd be interested to know what everyone else thinks. But Tyler's still in a really strong position here, even besides the fact that he's Sand Veil. Charizard's gonna have a hard time breaking through the remaining Pokemon here, especially if this Whiscash manages to get a Dragon Dance up. It's actually got a really nice matchup, which is crazy. You never hear that about a Whiscash. The Iron Thorns comes in, gonna throw Stealth Rocks. I like that idea. Chilling Water comes out. Bad news for Papcoon here. That's tough. Misses the Volt Switch, which means that's a free Calm Mind for Tyler here. Sucks. We're gonna see this Volt Switch hit. Does even less damage because of how that all worked out. And now this Charizard is going to miss a Flare Blitz. Really unfortunate. Clean KO'd by this +2 Chilling Water. And that's pretty much all she wrote for Papcoon. I don't think he can really come back from this. Doesn't have a rock move to Oko the Glaceon. And it's out of range of being KO'd by the Greninja, barring like a crit here. No, even a crit here, I don't think it would have KO'd it. But, you know, a little bit of luck and some decent play by Tyler here. A good Terra. You know, you guys heard my thoughts on Terras in the past few weeks. But still, a good use of the terrestrialization there. I don't think Papcoon Terra'd on anything. I don't know if he was in a position where he could have been saved by it, but really he just had to hit his moves versus a Snow Cloak Glaceon. That's a rough one. But Tyler comes away with the win, puts Papcoon's playoff hopes into a little bit of jeopardy, but then we can move on to the next battle. Okay, see? Right, now we're back. So, let's open up this game. So, this is also our marquee match of the week.
Marquee match of the week. Now we have a theme.
So we've got Brett taking on Jabron. Winner of this game gets the #1 seed. These are both the #1 and 2 seed. Good chance we see these guys play again in a few weeks in the semifinals potentially, which is actually also like the East Finals. So who knows if these two guys are bringing their A squads. That'll happen sometimes late in the season, not too much to play for. But yeah, let's hop into this. So we've got the Sandy Shocks lead versus Garchomp. I knew for a fact, and I think I tried not to let it on in the live recording. I was almost certain this was Ice Sandy Shocks, and I did confirm after it that it is. If he had gone all out right here and Terra'd Ice turn 1, this is such a different battle, like in an insane way. But it's, you know, Terraring turn 1 is big opportunity cost loss, and he didn't want to risk it there. He went to Scream Tail, did this big Earthquake, did a lot of damage, not great for him. But this Garchomp is putting in so much work. It's such a problem for him. And he also gets first turn Poison, which means his Scream Tail is just going to be it's not going to be recovering as much as he wants to. And then also Scream Tail, as I have said, is incredibly passive. So he's got to protect here again. I think he's probably got to do another round of Wish before. He's got to, like, on this turn, he throws up a Wish. Maybe he can live with enough HP to try to Dazzling Gleam here on turn 7. But it's kind of risky. And you know what? Jabron tries to take advantage of that, the fact that he had a Dazzling Gleam there. And he goes for the Stealth Rock. Good turn on Jabron. Didn't even take that much damage for it. Lock him into Poison Jab. A little unfortunate there. I don't know if he was trying to... I don't know what the... Like, maybe he was trying to get him to Earthquake, or maybe thought he was going to set up. Kind of an unfortunate turn there, but at least now he knows he's locked into Poison Jab. so that way he knows he gets a safe switch into this here Rever Room. And I don't remember what he does. Yeah, Talonflame comes in, get a gunk shot that misses. Would have probably done 50% or more to Talonflame. Pretty significant there. Flamethrower is going to come out. I'm not sure why Flamethrower. I guess he just didn't want to break the Gale Wings. That would make sense. Garg's going to throw up an Iron Defense. This is already pretty big. I think I talked about this thing. Look, that doesn't do much. Go ahead and recover here. Another Iron Head comes out. I guess the flinch there. It's pretty lucky, but he's got to get 1,000 of those to be able to get past his Garganackle. If this guard can start setting up more iron defenses and firing off body presses, he's in good shape, because a lot of physically offensive Pokemon on Jabron's team. And then we see the Florges come out. That is pretty scary already, setting up those Calm Mines. Brett's not gonna fuck around with it. Go hard into Rever Room. Wish goes up. I do think Garganackle might have been able to take on the Florges 1v1, and also that gunk shot didn't really matter because the Wish would have healed it plenty, but this Garchomp is back in a big way. I am shocked about this roll here. I think Brett was saying he wasn't sure if this was soft sand or if he was adamant and he was working on the calcs, and so I'm guessing this Breloom would have had a chance to live that poison jab had it been Jolly, a non-item or non-boosting item Garchomp. So the calcs were too close for him to tell, so that's why he went to Breloom. Just trying to probably get a Spore off and then try to impose his will, but Brett's fallen behind pretty quick here. Now Sandy Shocks is going to come out and go for the Earth Power there. I think this might have been like, I'm trying to convince him that I'm not Terra here. Or he's now probably tried to figure out that he's Terra. Yeah, that might have been like an elaborate double bluff there. Being like, oh, Jabron would be like, oh, he wouldn't bring this out unless he was Terra Ice. And we just saw that last week over in the West by just some amazing play that somebody else did with Terra Ice on Sandy Shocks. But he didn't fall for it. So we got 53% off on the Earth Power, and then Sandy Shocks went down. Brett's behind really big here. He doesn't have much of a chance to come through. You see the Terra Fairy and the Terra Steel. Dragon Claw resists that. That's good. Dragon Dance go up. This is the same set that I tried to use versus Dakota, the Jaw Lock set. It doesn't work super well in this scenario. If he got a crit there on Passimian, it would have been pretty cool. Didn't happen. But yeah, Brett's in just a losing spot now. Not a lot he can do. He ends up getting the KO. He does on the Passimian. But at this point, King Gambit's able to come in and clean up what's left. Well, honestly, well done by Jabron. One of the better rookie seasons we've seen. Really looking forward to what he's going to be able to do in playoffs. He's got the 1 seed, so he's going to be facing, which I guess now, since that's all the battles here in the East, we can jump over to the we'll jump over to the MVPs real quick. Glaceon got 3 KOs. Granted, Garchomp also got 3 KOs, but Garchomp fainted where Glaceon didn't, and it's a Glaceon, guys. Come on, seriously. But Salamon's still in the lead with 10 KOs because he got, what, 6 in week 1. I'm kind of coasted by on that a little bit, so it's crazy to see Charizard, Garganackle, Garchomp all up there at the top. 2 Life Orb KOs, which we talked about. 4 Pokemon over here, Baxcalibur, Charizard, Garchomp, Golden Go, all with 6 feints. Also, no one hit 7 over here, so well done for that. Now we'll head over to the standings as previously mentioned. So, here's the matchups. SLD and OAK, they're out. Storm Lake and Oakland, they're going to be taking some time off here because even though Storm Lake ended up with 2 wins, Minnesota does have the tiebreaker over them. Now, I have bolded these ones because these are teams that are tied, and one of the team has a tiebreaker, and I don't know how to reflect that in the standings without messing up Brett's work. I didn't want to do that, so I just bolded these. So, the 1 seed is New England. Wow. Life imitates art, doesn't it? Seattle Marinis are your 2 seed. So your 1 seed will be taking on whoever comes out of the second chance game. So our play-in game, our 3-4, Alabama versus Miami. Winner of that goes to the playoffs. Winner of Texarkana versus Minnesota, they go to the second chance game, playing the loser of Alabama versus Miami. The winner of the second chance game will place Gibran. Winner of this game will face, Jesus Christ. Sorry guys. Will face Brett. Hopefully that all makes sense, but all you need to worry about for the opening round games, Alabama versus Miami and Texarkana versus Minnesota. Those are the important things. Not as much messiness over here. So I think that wraps this one up though too. Thanks again to D24 Designs for these logos. Thanks to Brett for all his work on the dock. And you know what? Let's look at this schedule here. I was gonna say not a lot of forfeits, but there were forfeits just a while ago, and yeah, but overall, still a pretty good season. Still played the vast majority of the important games, and we made it to playoffs with. And you guys have all 4 teams, or no, all 6 teams that made it to playoffs are all gonna play games, so that's exciting. I'll put it in upcoming ones, but probably after the post-season is done, but the playoffs are still going on. Maybe we'll do it after some teams. Maybe semifinals week will also be bowl week. Any teams that are eliminated at that point, we will have play bowl games, do some exhibition games. We can finally get some East versus West action in there. So if you're eliminated from playoffs and you're interested in that, let me know. But I'll see you guys next week. Goodbye.